Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Early Bird Betting Show here, presented by the Coda Sports Gambling Network. Happy Tuesday, June 15th. As always, I'm Coda Capper Pace. Here you can follow the Coda Sports Gambling Network at Coda Cappers, Facebook, Instagram, and of course on YouTube as well, and Twitter. And you can also follow us. We have a website as well, free pick articles every day, and some blogs and things like that at www.codasportscappers.com. But Kyle, like every single day, you are beside me. How you doing this morning, Kyle?
Pretty rough day on the bets yesterday, but we're here. We're here to bounce back and just understand that those days like that happen. But it was a rough day yesterday.
Absolutely. Anything burn you bad, or just any close losses, anything like that, or?
I had a no-run first inning that I thought was a for sure lock that ended up getting a run in the first inning, and then Cubs couldn't pull it off for me against the Mets. 76ers not covering the -3 spread burned me pretty badly. The Canadians playing like garbage against the Golden Knights burned me pretty badly. So just an overall bad night. But when you people who bet a lot, you understand those nights happen all the time. So
Absolutely. The 76ers were what? I had them at -3.5. They had a 13-point lead at halftime, ended up losing 103-100, Kyle. Now that game is tied 2-2. And then, of course, in the NBA, the Clippers went down 2-0 early, and now the Jazz have lost 2 straight, and that series is tied 2-2 as the Clippers get it done 118-104. The Jazz outscored the Clippers 31-24 in the fourth, but they trailed by 20, 25 plus. I think even maybe a little more there throughout that contest. So did you catch any of those 2 games, Kyle?
yeah, the 76ers just collapsed, just flat out. And I mean, they had a chance to win, and Embiid had a pretty wide open layup that he blew,
Yeah.
and then Simmons got the offensive rebound and took it out of bounds. I mean, they tinkled it down their leg. Nothing more to say than that. But it was pretty pathetic. It's been a while since I've seen like a total collapse like that in a playoff game.
Absolutely. Joel Embiid, I think, finished 0 for 12 in that second half after playing a pretty solid first half. Again, they were up by 13 and went 0 for 12 in the second half. Ben Simmons, 11 points, 12 rebounds, 9 assists, 1 assist away from a triple-double. But Trae Young, 25 points, 4 rebounds, and 18 assists, Kyle. So he wasn't only scoring, he was dishing the basketball around as well. But we have some big news here, Kyle, in the NBA, as we only have one game here on June 15th, Tuesday here at 7:30 p.m. Central Time. It sounds like James Harden is going to try and give it a go here, Kyle. And Kyrie Irving is out. But I saw some news this morning come across the timeline that James Harden is going to try and make this a go as the Nets are at home. The Bucks -4, over-under 218.5. It's jumped up a little bit. Last night I was looking at it. It was at 217.5. It's jumped up now to about a point there, 1.5, depending what you got it at. But Kyle, out of these two, what are you looking at for this game here?
Well, with Harden playing, like, to me, the Nets +4 is a pretty good value move, because obviously when KD is the lone big 3 on that team, I can see the Bucks covering the spread even in Brooklyn if KD's alone. But the fact that Harden is probably going to play, granted, he's not going to be 100%. When you come back from an injury, you're not going to be 100%. But I think he's still going to be good enough to play and be productive and stuff like that. And Steve Nash even said, too, that he wasn't going to give him a go until he's had several long practices that he had no pain. So to me, him coming back means that he doesn't have any pain anymore. So he's probably going to be close to his normal self. So that long-winded answer makes me basically say that I like the Nets +4 here. I think that that's a value move, especially at home with Harden and KD. I think getting that really, really early is a good move. I also like the over of 218.5, especially if Harden plays, because with him and Durant both scoring quite a bit, and you got Blake Griffin and Joe Harris and so on and so forth, I think they're going to hit at least 110. The Bucks will be the same way. So I like Nets +4, and I also like the over 218.5.
And I know this total was probably a little lower because Kyrie and Harden weren't going to play when those lines came out, but like now we've already seen it jump up a point and a half here. So I'm on the over too. I got it at 217 last night. I like that. If we looked at the last 4 games, the Bucks won 107-96. Then that game 3 was 86-83. Then the Nets won game 2, 125-86, and that first game was 115-107. That didn't hit the over either. So I think the over hits here, especially if Harden plays. Again, he's not going to be 100%, but depending how many minutes he plays, I still think 217, 218 is just a little too low for these two teams.
Yep.
There we go. So as far as a side here, I lean the Nets, especially if Harden plays. I lean the Nets. I just don't see the Bucks now rattling off 3 wins and going up 3-2 on the Nets. So especially back in Brooklyn. So I think the Nets can get this win. But my play for this, Kyle, is definitely the over. I like the over here.
Yep, I agree.
There we go. Awesome. In the NHL last night, Kyle, we the Canadians, we talked about it. Is their run going to end here? And they lost to the Golden Knights 4-1. Granted, it was in Vegas. Vegas is very, very good at home, and now they lead that series 1-0. But here on Tuesday, another interesting line here, Kyle. The team that won the first game, the Islanders, are actually plus 200 on that money line I'm seeing at my sportsbook. The over-under here is at 5. This game goes off at 7 p.m. Central Time. So, Kyle, out of this game, what do you like here?
I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it yet. I mean, most people are thinking, well, the Lightning struggled mightily in game 1. They're not going to do it in game 2. My mindset is until I'm getting proved otherwise and I have a loss, I'm going to keep riding the same thing. So I really, really like the Islanders money line here.
Yeah,
I think that's a really, really good value move at plus 200. My book has it at plus 175. So it's still really, really high money line wherever you can get it at. So I think Islanders money line is a really good move. I also really, really like the over of 5 here. I think that these two teams are going to score. The Lightning aren't going to score, I think, 1 or 0 goals they had last game. They're not going to do that again, I don't think. But I do think the Islanders are going to score a lot of goals this game. So I really like the over 5.
All right. I like it. The under is 7-1 in Tampa Bay's last 8 games overall. So keep that in mind as well. So again, the first game was a defensive battle, right, Kyle? 2-1 midway through the third period before Tampa Bay scored in the final minute there, so to make it a 1-goal contest. But the under looks good here, and again, I'm with Kyle. If it's not broke, why change it, right? No reason to fix it there. So I'm gonna roll with the Islanders here too, and I also like the under here. So we're both kind of on the same side here for this hockey game.
Yeah, it'll be a good one for sure. But as long as the Islanders just keep on winning, I'm surprised they're still like that high a money line. But
yeah, absolutely. And I think is it Valsavsky, I think, is starting in net tonight for the Tampa Bay Lightning. He's 88-27 in their last 115 regular season games at home there. So some people predicting a bounce back for the Lightning, but again, the Islanders up 1-0 and some good value money there on that money line.
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome. There we go. So quick and easy again. When we get down to not too many teams left in these playoffs, there's only about 1-2 games a day for the NBA and NHL. But Kyle, to carry the load here is the MLB. We have 15 MLB games here tonight. So we'll just start. No early games here. Starting at 6 p.m. Central Time. The Chicago Cubs taking on the New York Mets. The Mets minus 145. The over/under is at 8.5. As Alec Mills is going for the Cubs. He's 2-0, but a 6.08 ERA. Then you have the Pittsburgh Pirates taking on the Washington Nationals. The Nationals minus 160. The over/under here is at 8.5. As Patrick Corbin and Tyler Anderson go face off at 6:05 Central Time here between these two squads. Then you have the New York Yankees taking on the Toronto Blue Jays. The Blue Jays minus 121 at home. Over/under is at 9 here as Jordan Montgomery is going for the Yankees. 3-1, 3.99 ERA. We'll go 2 more games here. The Orioles taking on the Indians. The Indians minus 172. Matt Harvey going for the Orioles. And the Indians 17-13 at home, while the Orioles just 11-22 on the road. The Indians minus 172. Over/under here is at 9. Then the last game here, Kyle, 6:20 p.m. Central Time. The Boston Red Sox taking on the Atlanta Braves. The Braves minus 111. The over/under is at 9. As Tucker Davidson, 1-0, 1.53 ERA goes for the Braves. So out of those 5 games there, Kyle, what stands out to you?
I really, really like the Blue Jays here against the Yankees at home. Jordan Montgomery, he's been pretty good, but he hasn't faced, a lineup like this Blue Jays lineup. And this Jin Ryu starting for the Blue Jays, been pretty solid this year so far. So I really, really like the Blue Jays money line here. And then in this Orioles and Indians game, I like the over 9.
Okay.
I think that, Matt Harvey has a 7.41 ERA. So the Indians could get a crap load of runs themselves, but this Cal Quantrill for the Indians, he also hasn't been very good this year. So I think these two pitchers are going to give up a lot of runs. So I like the over in that game. And then in this Red Sox and Braves game, I'm going to go with the underdog here. I'm going to take the Red Sox.
Okay.
Eduardo Rodriguez maybe hasn't been best as far as ERA wise, but he's been providing wins for that team when they need it. So I think getting them as an underdog is a good value move there. So I like the Red Sox money line against the Braves.
All right, I like it. I have 2 plays here, but it's in the same game here. I like the Indians minus 1.5 on that run line. Matt Harvey on the mound for the Orioles. He's allowed 5 or more runs in 4 of his last 5 starts, and his numbers against Cleveland are not great either. And Cleveland's lineup, Kyle, they are combined. They've been hitting pretty solid, just under 500 at over 28 at bats against Matt Harvey here. So not bad stats there as well. And the Indians, like you said, is bringing out Cal here. He's been pretty strong. He's still looking for his first win. His ERA though is 3.21 in 20 appearances. So he's capable of getting a W. The Orioles are 2-8 in their last 10 meetings in Cleveland as well. So I'm going to take the Indians run line, and I'm going to take the over 5 runs in the first 5 because Matt Harvey, he's going to get banged up a little bit here. I think early, probably some relievers are going to come out for him. We'll see how long he lasts, and then this Cal too, depending how he does. He's still looking for that first win, so he could let up a few runs early. So I like the over 5 runs there in the first 5 innings, and the Indians minus 1.5. So those are my 2 plays there.
I like both of them. Those are good ones.
Awesome. Good stuff. Now we go to 7:10 Central Time here. We have the Reds taking on the Milwaukee Brewers. The Reds minus 111. Over-under is at 9. Then you have the Detroit Tigers taking on the Kansas City Royals. Royals minus 135. The over-under 8.5 as Mike Minor going for Kansas City. 5-3, a 4.50 ERA. At 7:10 p.m. Central as well, you have the Tampa Bay Rays taking on the Chicago White Sox. Pretty good game last night. Between Glasnow and, of course, Lance Lynn as the Rays get it done. But the White Sox minus 111. Over-under here is at 8. Then, let's see, that's our third one. Let's go 2 more. The Texas Rangers taking on the Houston Astros. Astros, I think the second biggest favorite of the day here at minus 180. Over-under is at 8.5. And then you have the Miami Marlins taking on the St. Louis Cardinals. The Cardinals minus 121. Over-under 7.5 as Miami. Trevor Rogers is on the mound here, Kyle, for Miami. 7-3 at 2.8 ERA. 2.02 ERA, excuse me. So kind of interesting there that they are underdogs on the road, but those are the 5 games. Anything there, Kyle, that you like?
I mean, you nailed on the head with that Marlins game. I can't believe that they're underdogs with Trevor Rogers on the mound. And the Cardinals are starting Kwang Hin Kim, who's 1-4 with a 4.05, and the Cardinals are favored. That just doesn't make any sense to me. So big value move as Marlins money line here, I think. And I'm gonna try this game again. This game burned me last time, but I think it has a shot again. I'm gonna take Tampa Bay White Sox no run first inning.
Okay.
I think that's a big that's gonna probably hit, especially with these 2 on the mound, and they've been pretty solid all year record wise, 2-1 and 5-1. So I think they can start off really well to start. So I like Tampa Bay and Chicago no run first inning. And I'm also, if you want to just play a little Russian roulette here and just want to just throw some money out and see if it works out, take the Rangers money line.
Yeah.
The reason I say that is the Rangers, I got them at plus 165 at my sports book. McCullers has been really well for the Astros, but the Rangers have Kyle Gibson on the mound, who's been pretty solid so far this year. So throwing like a unit or 2 on the Rangers could end up paying out because Gibson's been solid all year long. So I'm not saying that's the pick for this game, but I'm just saying it's an absolute value move if you want to just play a little Russian roulette, and I think it could potentially hit.
Absolutely. The Rangers Rockies parlay, Kyle, I don't know. That looks pretty juicy. Not a fan, Kyle says.
it looks juicy, but we'll talk about this game in a second, but I don't know if I'd do it.
Yeah, all right. Anything else in this time slot, Kyle?
Nope, that'll my place.
Sounds good. I'm going to take the Reds money line here. Cincinnati won 10-2 over the Brewers on Monday. The Reds are now 9-2 in their last 11 games and have scored 37 runs in their last 4 games. So I think the offense stays hot here as the Brewers bring out Brett Anderson in his last 3 starts. He has a 6.75 ERA and a 2.15 WHIP. So I like the Reds money line here as they take on the Milwaukee Brewers on the road. And then Kyle kind of touched on this game with Rogers on the mound for the Miami Marlins. I do lean the Marlins here, but I like the over 7.5 runs. For this play, I'm going to take that. Or for this game, I'm going to take this one. Rogers has been pitching well. 3 of his last 4 starts, he has seen a combined 15 runs scored. Meanwhile, on the other side, Kim, who's on the mound, of course, and for the other squad, he in his last 2 starts, he has reached double digits. He's 0-3 with a 6.5 1.58 ERA in his past 3 games. So I'm going to take the over 7.5 runs here and hope we get a lot of runs and a Miami Marlins win. So those are my couple plays in this time slot.
Yep, I agree with those.
Alrighty, and then let's see. Like we said, we have the 7:40 p.m. Central Time with 5 games left here. The Padres taking on the Rockies. The Padres minus 250, over under 11.5. Of course, they are at Coors Field there in Denver, and it's supposed to be sunny and 80. Great baseball weather there at 8:40 Central Time as well. We have the Angels taking on the Oakland A's. The A's minus 125. The over under is at 8. Then the Arizona Diamondbacks take on the Giants. Zach Little is on the mound for the Giants, but the Diamondbacks don't have anybody out there yet. They're still undecided. So if you're looking for a play there, you can follow Kyle at, I'm going to get it right here, Kyle, at Comdog, of course, Kommdog on Twitter. And you can follow myself at Coda Capper Pace and the network at Coda Cappers if you're looking for a play in that game once the Diamondbacks bring out their pitcher. And also shout out to the 4 viewers here. That's awesome. So thank you again. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. And so 2 more games here. We have Minnesota Twins taking on the Seattle Mariners. J.A. Happ on the mound for the Twins. Chris Flexen for Seattle, 5-3, 4.68. The Twins minus 130 on the road. The over-under here, Kyle, is at 8.5. Then, of course, the Phillies taking on the Dodgers. The Dodgers minus 172, over-under 8.5. So out of those 5, Kyle, anything you like there?
Boy, this this Padres-Rockies game really has me puzzled because, you got like I got a minus 240 on my sports book for money line. I got a minus 170 for minus 0.5 first 5, and I have a minus 160 for minus 1.5.
Okay.
So, that's so much juice you got to drink. So, I think the Padres are going to win, no problem. So, I think the value move, just to get a little bit back, is to parlay all 3 of the things I just said. So, parlay Padres minus 0.5 first 5, parlayed with minus 1.5, parlayed with money line.
Okay. All right.
So that's a good play there against the Rockies. So I like that. I also am really surprised that the Mariners are underdogs against the Twins, especially at home. So that really has me questioning a lot, especially with J.A. Happ on the mound, who not too bad of a record, but a 5.75 ERA. So I really like the Mariners money line here at plus. I get them at plus 120 on my sports book. So those will be my 2 plays as far as that game goes. Oh, and I do have one more. I lied.
All right.
I like the Dodgers minus 1.5 against the Phillies here. I think with Julio Urias on the mound, been really solid all year long. And this Phillies lineup, I think, is going to struggle against Julio. So I like the Dodgers minus 1.5. I can get that at plus 110 on my sports book.
All right, very nice. I also am on the Dodgers here as Zach Eflin is going for the Phillies. He's a completely different pitcher on the road here, Kyle, compared to at home. He has a 5.75 ERA and a 1.13 WHIP, losing 5 of his last 6 starts on the road. So he hasn't faced the Dodgers since 2019, but he struggles on the road. And, of course, the Dodgers 22-11 at home, as the Phillies just 11-20 on the road. So I like the Dodgers too, a little plus money here on that run line. Then I'm going to take the Mariners as well. Just kind of surprised me. Chris Flexen, 5-3, doesn't have a great ERA, 4.68. But again, J.A. Happ hasn't been too solid either. Again, 3-2, 5.75, not terrible, but not great. So I'm going to take the Mariners at home as they're 18-14 at home. The Twins just 12-19 on the road. And I'm going to take the over there too. Over 8.5 runs. I think there's going to be a lot of runs scored in this contest. So I'm going to take the Dodgers minus 1.5, the Mariners money line, and the over 8.5 in that contest. Those are my 3 plays in that one.
Pretty similar place to me, so that could be a good thing, that could be a bad thing, who knows?
Yeah, we'll see. We got to have a bounce back day here, Kyle. Both you and I kind of struggled yesterday, so we're back again here today.
We're not minus 45 units.
Yeah, this is true. If you have been paying attention to the Coda Cappers June contest or the Coda Cappers Sports Network, you know that we have a monthly contest between all of our cappers, and one Soup, of course, Campbell D. Josh on Twitter, has been struggling mightily. What is he, minus 45?
Yep.
He's minus 40.
He said at minus 49 he's going to retire, so if he does get to minus 49, he's going to be done.
Yeah, he's had a couple rough couple days. I think he's had, last 5 days, I think he's lost bets just straight up, and it hasn't been good. It hasn't been like 1 or 2 units. It's been like, 4 or 5. So we'll see. We'll see what Soup can do here. But Kyle, he was leading, then had a little down day yesterday, but he's back again here today as we look at the WNBA lines here, Kyle. The Seattle Storm 10-2, 5-0 on the road, take on the Indiana Fever. And I know we've talked about the Fever before. They're just really, really bad. Their leading scorer, Tierra McCowan, is averaging just 11.3 points per game. Seattle here, -15 on the road, over under 165. Then you have the Chicago Sky. Candace Parker back now, taking on the Minnesota Lynx. The Lynx, -3.5 at home, over under 159. And then the New York Liberty taking on the Las Vegas Aces again here. The Aces, -12.5. The over under 172. So Kyle, out of those 3 games, what do you like here?
Indiana Fever are so bad.
They're so bad. So bad.
They're terrible. And Seattle Storm are so good, and they're so good on the road. I think the Storm are going to win by like 20.
Okay. All right.
So as crazy as it sounds, I really, really like Seattle -15.5 because I think they're going to cover that pretty easily because, like I said, Indiana's terrible. They are bad. But for the Chicago Sky and Lynx game, I'm going to go with the underdog here. I think the Sky with Candace Parker are going to pull it off on the road against the Minnesota Lynx. So I think that's a good value move there. I think even taking the money line might be a good move. So I think that's the move. And as crazy as it sounds, I'm going to ride with Ionescu.
All right.
In this Liberty and Aces game. I think it's going to be a lot closer than 12.5. So I think that is definitely a move. I think it'll be like a 5-6 point game. So I think plus 12.5 is definitely the move. But if you're feeling a little risky, I mean, I can get the money line at plus 550. I think they can pull it off.
Yeah. So
that could be even throwing down 1 unit to win 5.5. I think that could end up being the move. So I like I like the Liberty definitely plus 12.5, and I might even take them. Throw a unit on the money line.
All right. Getting frisky here on a Tuesday, June 15th. I like it. That's just some bit. Again, the Liberty aren't terrible. Obviously, the Ace is very good. 8-3, 4-1 at home. But the Liberty, too. They're a very solid squad. So I thought 12.5 was way too many points in this game.
Yeah, absolutely it was.
But I'm going to take the Seattle Storm, too. I got them at -14 this morning. It's now jumped up to -15.5, like Kyle said. Opened up at -12. The Fever, though, just very, very bad. In the WNBA this season, it's been road underdogs have been really solid, and road favorites have always also been solid. So I'm going to roll with the Seattle Storm here against the Indiana Fever. Again, like Kyle said, 20-point plus win here for Seattle Storm coming. I could see that definitely. And then I'm going to take the Chicago Sky as well, taking on the Minnesota Lynx. I'm going to take the road dog here. Opened up Sky, we're 2.5-point underdogs. I got them at 3.5. I now see it at 4, so it's kind of climbing up there. Might want to wait on that one. And then the Liberty, too. It will open up at +9. It's jumped to 12.5. That's where I got it. I just think that's way, way, way too many points. I know the Liberty going on the road. They're not great on the road. 3-2. I mean, that's not terrible. 6-4 overall. I guess they're split home and away. But I just think 12.5 is way, way too many points here for this Liberty team.
Yeah, it absolutely is. Okay, mind you, the Las Vegas Aces have been really, really solid this year, but the Liberty have surprised some people. So that's why I think a double-digit spread is pretty crazy.
Absolutely. And I understand it's on the road for the Liberty. I get that, but the Liberty much improved since last year.
Very much so.
There we go. Awesome. All right, Kyle. Anything else you want to add before we wrap it up here?
Nope, I don't think so. Like I said, there's a lot going on today, so it's a good day to have a good day and cash some bets.
Absolutely. If you're looking for a podcast to check out tomorrow, episode 19 of the Gambling Feud podcast will drop between Kyle, of course, and his cousin Deej, and should be a good episode there. They're going to maybe some new segments, and of course the guest picker as well. That's always fun, and a mic drop, Kyle. Right? The mic drop is staying, right?
Yes, we did add and cut some segments, but the mic drop is here to stay. Me and Deej had that. But after the guest pick 'em, actually even probably more so than the guest pick 'em, our mic drop is our favorite segment. So that's here to stay. Don't worry about that.
Absolutely. Very good. So awesome. There we go. Episode 19 will drop tomorrow. And of course, if you're looking for the Mount Lockmore podcast, episode 50, B. Russ was on his way back from a nice little bachelor party in South Carolina, so we taped that, and that'll be dropping here this morning very shortly, 11:30. You can find that Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and of course Google Play. It'll also be on the website www.codasportscappers.com. Kyle, thanks as always. Thank you everybody for watching. We appreciate you. Comment, like, subscribe, and we'll see everybody in the morning, 10 a.m. tomorrow, June 16th.